You've been part of so many elections, you've seen so much of the ups and downs of Indian politics. When you look back at this particular campaign, what stood out for you as the high point? What was for you the low point of this long election campaign, Mr. Chidambaram? Let's start from there.
The three things that stood out as far as I'm concerned. Firstly, the ruling party, the BJP, could not set the narrative in this election. They failed. They tried this and they tried that, but they failed to set the narrative. The second thing is the opposition, although it is an alliance of several parties, was unusually aggressive and assertive. I think they awakened the fighting impulses and instincts of a large number of cadres, especially the Congress cadres, and the opposition put up a stiff fight in even in states where they thought that it was thought that the BJP will have an easy walkover. The third thing is the amount of hate speeches, the complete polarizing, divisive speeches, starting from the Honorable Prime Minister. I mean, that was the lower point of the election. That the Prime Minister should, after April 21, indulge in speech after speech, which contained hate, divisiveness, and polarization.
Okay, sir, I want to take you through some of the promises made by the Congress party during this campaign. And you've been finance minister thrice over, you presented 9 budgets, and try and understand from you the economic rationale behind those promises, why you think these are important, and most importantly, where the money will come from. I'll start with the broad headline number. So there are various economists who've looked at the aggregate cost to the promises made by the Congress party, and their calculation is that if all of these were to be implemented in the way that you're saying you will, the fiscal deficit of this country will go up from 5.1% of GDP, which is projected under the current BJP government, to between 7 to 8.5% of the GDP, which could be fiscally ruinous. So how are you responding to all those people who were your constituency when you were finance minister, very worried about the country's finances, not wanting governments to spend more than they're earning, saying that the fiscal deficit could go up to as much as 8% if all the promises you've made in your manifesto are implemented, Mr. Chidambaram?
Absolutely wrong. These promises have to be implemented over a period of 5 years. And during those 5 years, the GDP will not be constant. The GDP will also grow. It will grow at a brisk rate, and the GDP will be in nominal terms. It will grow at a very fast rate, something like 12-13% a year. So please don't forget that. Secondly, the promises have to be implemented over a period of 5 years. It is not as though all the promises have to be implemented on day one. Number 3, the promises have to be rolled out, the numbers verified. We have said so, even as far as the poor are concerned. The promise of 1 lakh a year for the poor will be rolled out. There will be verification of the numbers. There will be an evaluation of the program, and corrections will be made as we go along. Therefore, don't create this fear that the fiscal deficit will pierce all ceilings. We are very, very conscious. In fact, the FRBM was our law, and we were very conscious about sticking to the fiscal deficit. When the fiscal deficit went out of control, thanks to the international financial crisis, we brought it under control. When the fiscal deficit went out of control, thanks to the taper tantrum, we brought it back under control. So don't worry about the fiscal deficit. We are very conscious about the limits imposed by the FRBM, and we will make every effort to stick to the FRBM.
Sure, but the impulse has been a fiscally conservative impulse. I want to show you just a brief snatch of some of the comments made during the campaign trail and get your reactions on what you make of this kind of campaign rhetoric. Let's listen to Rahul Gandhi.
आपको बेरोजगार बनाया, 30 लाख सरकारी नौकरियां इंडिया गठबंधन के आते ही आपके हवाले कर देंगे। बेरोजगार युवाओं के बैंक अकाउंट में, गर्मी है काफी, बेरोजगार युवाओं के बैंक अकाउंट में, बेरोजगार युवाओं के बैंक अकाउंट में महीने के 8,500 रुपए, साल के 1 लाख रुपए खटाखट खटाखट खटाखट।
ये मीडिया वाले कहेंगे जब हम पैसा देंगे, मीडिया वाले कहेंगे देखो देखो ये गरीबों की आदत बिगाड़ रहे हैं। और मैं कहूंगा ज्यादा बोलोगे ना, अभी 1 लाख रुपए साल का दे रहे हैं, 2 लाख का देंगे, चुप हो जाओ।
अगर आप गरीबी रेखा के नीचे हो, आपके बैंक अकाउंट में हर साल 1 लाख रुपया, 8,500 रुपया महीने का खटाखट 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 आता रहेगा। और एक झटके से हिंदुस्तान से हम गरीबी को मिटा देंगे।
Promise made by Rahul Gandhi is that 1 lakh rupees per year to every poor Indian family. There are 400 million households in India. Even if we take just 10%, which is a conservative estimate, just 10% of these households, if they're classified as poor, that's 4 lakh crore rupees. And somewhere in the campaign he says, if 1 lakh is not enough, I'll increase it to 2 lakh rupees, khatakhat, khatakhat, khatakhat. And if that happens, then the bill goes up, khatakhat, 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 to 8 lakh crore rupees. The government's revenues were 30 lakh crore rupees. That's the estimate for FY25, which means 1/4 of the money gets spent, khatakhat, 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 just on this one promise. How do you look at this, Mr. Chidambaram?
According to the Niti Aayog, there are 11% of Indian families are poor. According to the CEO of Niti Aayog, it was 5% of families are poor. So we will do an enumeration of poor families. Therefore, there has to be criteria will be laid down. Poverty will be defined. The poor families will be counted. The poor families will be enumerated. And then it will be rolled out over a period of time after verification. You are simply assuming that on day one, X number of crores will be rolled out. An election promise is intended to be implemented. No, it's not a boast. When we said we will write off the agricultural loans, I'm sure many commentators, many economists, including perhaps some of your economists, laughed at us. But eventually, did we not write off about 60,000 crore of agricultural loan? Therefore, it's not impossible. When we rolled out the NFSAI, the National Food Security Act, the criticism of these learned economists, and I don't question their learning, that there is not enough food in this country to have a NFSAI, National Food Security Act, which covers 65% of the population. But it is under the same NFSA, National Food Security Act, that Mr. Modi's government is giving 5 kilograms of grain every day, every month per capita to 80 crore people. So please don't think that we have not done our homework. We have done our homework, we have done our math, and when we are in power, we'll roll out these schemes. At that time, you can criticize, hold your criticism for the time being.